Welcome, everyone. It's Miss Gisa. And today we have our special guest, Miss Kelly from At the Liquid Medium, and my daughter, Adele.
Hi.
We're going to go on another culinary adventure. And Miss Kelly, what are we doing today?
Well, hello, and thank you for joining us on a very special journey today as we learn about an important superpower we all have called our immune system. Learning how to care for our immune system is always important, especially now that we are all working together to stay healthy and safe. We're going to talk about some important body functions and the healthy, tasty things we can do to keep our bodies strong and happy. Did you know that food can be healing and help us from getting sick? What is your favorite food to have when you're not feeling well, Gisa and Adele?
I like soup.
I also like soup, and I like having lots of citrus.
Oh yeah, those are both really great. And that's a little teaser for our next episode. I really like a soothing cup of tea made with my favorite healing plants. And so elderberry is a plant that helps our immune system fight the bacteria and viruses that can make us feel bad. So let's explore some science and biology before we sample our homemade elderberry remedies. So immunity means to be protected, and our immune system is made of organs, cells, and tissue that work like a team to protect us. White blood cells, or leukocytes, are made and stored in our spleen and bone marrow. There are two types of white blood cells: phagocytes and lymphocytes. So phagocytes are the cleaners, and they get rid of invading germs by eating them so our bodies can eliminate them. Lymphocytes are the memory of our immune system, and they use their wisdom to remember germs and prevent them from getting us sick again. We do our part to help our hardworking immune system stay strong by washing our hands, covering our coughs and sneezes, wearing masks, eating nutritious food, exercising, and getting lots of good sleep and rest. There's one more component to the science exploration, and I would love it if Miss Gisa and Adele can talk a little bit about viruses.
Absolutely.
Viruses are microorganisms invisible to our eyes. We need a microscope to see them. They need a host or a living creature to live, and once they have invaded, they replicate to cause an infection which makes you feel bad. They can spread through animals, water, air, food, or on objects. Medicine can help soothe your symptoms, but do not get rid of a virus. That is your immune system's job. Vaccines help our immune system to recognize a virus so we are protected from that virus. Kelly, can you tell us how elderberry helps strengthen our immune system and protect us from viruses?
I would love that. Ancient Russian folklore says that Elda Moor, a powerful, wise, healing woman, lives within the elder tree to heal us. And when you seek help from the elder tree, you must honor her and show deep respect for her powers. Elderberries grow in the wild and can be part of your home garden. They are absolutely beautiful and provide animals and humans with food and medicine. People gather the berries and use them to make remedies like the syrup and Oxymel we'll try today. Elderberries are full of flavonoids that help our bodies function better and protect our cells from viruses. Elderberries also help relieve the bad feelings we have when we are sick. Elderberries are an easy way to consume vitamin A and C. I use elderberry as both an immune boosting supplement and as a remedy to help me get over a cold or flu. Miss Gisa and Adele, are you ready to learn how to make your very own elderberry remedies?
Yes, I've been waiting, Miss Kelly, since the last batch you gave me last year.
I'm so excited. Let's take a look.
Achoo! Achoo!
Achoo! Achoo!
Oh, hi. Welcome back to the Liquid Medium Laboratory. Since everybody seems to have the sniffles, I thought it would be a perfect time for us to make some elderberry remedies. I have 3 different recipes planned. I think you'll enjoy them. It's going to be an elderberry extravaganza. So come on over here and I'll show you what I have set up. For our 3 different recipes today, we're going to make an elderberry syrup, which is great to keep in your fridge, and you can take a teaspoon of that as needed. I found a really great recipe in this book. It's The Alchemy of Herbs by Rosalie de la Forêt, with the foreword by Rosemary Gladstar, who's one of my favorite herbalists. This book was given to me by a dear friend, Nikki, so thank you very much for that. I have everything set up here for the elderberry syrup. We're gonna do a 2 to 4 ratio, so 2 cups of elderberry, 4 cups of water, and then we're gonna add 1 cup of apple juice, and we're gonna add some aromatic herbs, a little bit of rosemary and thyme, which are both really nice for your respiratory system, which helps us breathe better when we're, congested or coughing. The second recipe that we're going to make is called an elderberry oxymel, and that's something that you can sip on as like a tea, and that will keep for a while in your fridge too. It's got the added benefit of some apple cider vinegar. I'm going to throw in some rose hips, which are just beautiful, great antioxidants, vitamin C, very complementary to the elderberry. And then I'm going to make an elderberry apple jam. We have some local apples that are great for baking. And this I'm going to use, it's a 1 to 2 ratio. So 1 cup of elderberries to 2 cups of water. And we'll cook that down into a syrup and then add in our apples. The elderberries I got from 2 sources, 2 of my favorites, Mountain Rose Herbs and Frontier Co-op Herbs. And those are very easy to order from online, unless you're adventurous and you want to go forage for elderberries out in the wild. And so let's get started. What I'm going to do is bring all of the liquids up to a boil, and then I'm going to simmer them for about 40 minutes. But the key thing to look for is when the liquid has reduced by half. And so we'll keep an eye on that. First off, we'll start with our elderberry syrup. I'm going to be straining this through a cheesecloth, so I'm just going to put these whole sprigs right in there. Sprinkle our thyme. Give it a little stir here. I'm going to use this pan for the oxymel. 1/3 cup of elderberry. And this is running out of measuring cups, but this is 2.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. So we're going to cook this down just like the syrup with the water, bringing it up to a boil first. And this is going to be our plain syrup for our jam. So while this is bubbling and boiling, I'm going to dice up the apples, and I'll show you how I cook those down next. So I melted some butter. I have these apples chopped. I did leave the peel on. There's pectin in the peel, which helps, would thicken up a jelly or a jam. You would actually add pectin in some recipes, a powdered form. So this is a natural pectin. I threw a cinnamon stick in for flavor. I have a little bit of lemon juice and some lemon zest. You don't want to add too much liquid because as the apple cooks, it's going to release liquid. And then we're also going to add a little bit of the elderberry syrup to this. So we'll have an apple elderberry syrup jam. And I'm going to splash just a little bit of vanilla in there. So I'll let this, really cook down and thicken up. And then I'll show you what it looks like when we add the elderberry and honey. So this is our plain elderberry reduction for our jam, and you can see that the liquid has really reduced. I know it doesn't look like there's much in there, but we're going to put it in a strainer with some cheesecloth and strain out that liquid. And we'll just let this sit here while the apples are cooking so we can get our elderberry liquid to add. And we're also ready for the oxymel, so we'll get that set up next. Our apples are looking great. They are nice and brown and soft. So now I'm going to add in our elderberry syrup. And what's cool about this is, I know I told you we started off with a 2-to-1 ratio, and we have reduced it by pretty much exactly half. I have a half a cup left. So I'm going to pour this in now. Mix this into the apple. It's going to turn such a beautiful color. And we'll let this thicken up a little bit. And then I'll take it off the heat. I'll let it cool down just to the point that it's still warm. And then we'll add in our honey to sweeten it up a little bit. I am really messy when it comes to adding honey into things, so let's see how this goes. You can do this to your taste. The Oxymel recipe calls for 1/3 cup honey. And to me, I tried this before I added the honey, the jam, and it tastes very sweet to me. So I don't think it's gonna need a ton. And I anticipate the syrup will probably get the most. So here we go. So this is about a half cup. I think this is good to start. You can always add more, and too much is not going to hurt you. So once I incorporate the honey into my syrups and jam, I'll take a little teaspoon and give it a taste and see if I like it. And if I want to add more, just remember, no double dipping. We're ready to go. They're going to keep our immune system working nice and strong. So here is the elderberry syrup. I have these cute little labels. This will keep in your fridge for about a year. Here is our Oxymel. Probably could have used a better container for this, but it's very concentrated. You can use as much or as little as you want to a cup of hot water. This makes a really nice tea when you're not feeling well, or even just as like a nice bedtime treat. And here we have our jam, which is ready for toast or oatmeal or yogurt, whatever you think would be best. All right, so now that we know how to make our very own elderberry remedies, are you ready to taste the syrup?
Yes.
So I think it's a good amount is like a little teaspoon. You don't have to measure it or be, exact with it.
Okay.
If you want to take a spoon out of your drawer, and like Mary Poppins said, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So it's a little bit of honey in there.
It's packaged so cute. All right, are you ready?
Yes. Do we just
Take
look
it?
at it?
Yeah.
This is really good.
I'm gonna have some too.
It's like sour and honey and grape.
Oh, that's delicious. I gotta be careful not to drink the whole bottle.
That'd be fun.
That's why I like to have a couple different recipes on hand. I like to, keep the syrup for when I'm not feeling well and I don't have the energy to be cooking or making food, and you can just take a nice spoonful. It's nice to travel with too.
If you're taking it just as a supplement to keep your immune system healthy, it's just 1 teaspoon. But if you're taking it medicinally, like if you're feeling under the weather, about how much would you take then?
I would take it maybe like 3 or 4 times throughout the day.
Okay.
You don't want to overdo it on elderberries because it's not like a raspberry or a strawberry. They can be a little bit irritating to your stomach if you eat too much.
Good to know. Okay.
But I think it definitely helps having them cooked. Like I wouldn't eat elderberries straight off the bush. You want to make sure that they're cooked down into like a syrup or a jam.
Okay. All good to know. All right.
So how about we have some tea and toast?
Yes.
Sounds good.
So if you want to grab your mugs, and I like to use about a tablespoon of the Oxymel.
Okay.
And so I'll pour that in there, and then I like to add even more honey to kind of cut that acid from the vinegar.
All right. All right. Go ahead, kiddo. You want to go first?
So you ready for some hot water?
Yep.
I love your teapot, Kelly. That's so cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I love these long neck teapots. Is that good, Adele?
Thank you. Yep, that's perfect.
Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, you're welcome, Miss Gisa. It's my pleasure. Those are full of vitamin C.
This is delicious. I've never had this before. And then Kelly, tell us about this.
So the jam, like I said, you don't want to overdo it on elderberries. You just want to get a little bit into your diet.
Okay.
And so these really beautiful local apples and that I got at the farmers market with my honey from Inglewood. And I thought how nice it would be to have a little bit of jam with the apples. I heard that would be a good complementary flavor to the elderberry.
It absolutely is. So good. You always make the best food.
Thank you so much.
I'm really excited because it's wintertime and because we're also in a pandemic. I'm really excited to learn new ways from you to boost our immune system and keep us healthy this winter.
Yeah. It's nice that we have all these beautiful plants and food to help us with those things.
Yeah, I love that. And I love stay healthy before you get sick, right? To be proactive and adding these really nutritious foods into our diet so that we don't get sick in the first place. But even if we do, our immune system bounces back faster.
Yes. A good foundation is always key. And so this is going to be the foundation for our immunity series that we're going to do, because our next episode is going to be on one of my most favorite things to make, when actually inspired the name of my laboratory, the liquid medium, which is making medicinal broths. And it's another delicious way to just incorporate really nutrient dense food into our diets. Yeah, and like chicken soup is, I think, one of the oldest remedies for when you're not feeling well. So we're gonna do a chicken bone broth, and we're gonna put a lot of really good and nutritious things to complement that. And it's also a perfect time. I was consulting my local food wheel, and in the months of January and February, a lot of the ingredients that we're going to use for the broth are going to be available at the farmers market. So I'm really excited to share this with you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. We are excited to learn about how to make bone broth in our next episode, and we are so thankful. I have been waiting to learn how to make this. So thank you for guiding us through those steps and taking us on this adventure.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I really appreciate your scientific facts. It's always a great thing to learn what our bodies are doing with all of this good information.
Well, everyone, remember, if you liked this episode, to support our channel by hitting that like button and subscribing.
Don't forget to share with all of your friends and family.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you, Adele. Be safe.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.